everyone, this is Tiffany, and I'm back here with another Substack post. I am in my studio apartment, and I'm pet sitting, so there's a little cute little white pup, small little guy next to me. And so if you hear some noises, that's what's happening. Also, it is very windy here in Chicago. We had a pretty intense storm come through last night, and it's still really windy. And sometimes my windows shake and make this horrible, huge noise. So that might happen, but that's life. All right, let's get into it. I wrote a piece titled, "Everyone Wants a Village, but No One Wants to Be a Villager." All right, let's get into it. So there's this TikTok, and I'm not endorsing the creator because I have no idea who she is, but this TikTok came across my For You page and it was about how everyone wants a village, but no one wants to be a villager. Oof. She goes on about her mom and how she always has a huge village around her, and she shares about what she observes about her mom that makes it possible. And it made me really think about my relationship with community, my upbringing, and the life my parents are living. So below is a photo of my parents, and I'm going to include that photo. My mom is in that darling striped dress with the large collar. My dad is beside her, and my maternal grandparents are beside my dad, and my aunt is next to my mom. They are at a Chinese restaurant filled with people, and it's for my parents' wedding banquet in the 80s. They are so cute. I've been at many Chinese dinner banquets and large gatherings growing up. There's usually shark fin soup. Not sure if it's actually shark fin or if that's even ethical. But there's also cold jellyfish for appetizer. There's garlicky crab, roast duck, and many other savory, yummy dishes. And usually there's a dessert sago soup. And usually I remember it's usually like taro, super yummy. And that room that we're always in is so loud. People are talking and laughing and basically yelling. Looking back, I'm like, I love the atmosphere. I love the fullness of it. I'm just surrounded by so many sensory things that make me feel really warm. And everyone's speaking in Chinese. But yeah. So I included that photo of my parents, and you can see in the photo that there's not one empty seat. And yeah. So back to the text. You might know that I grew up in an evangelical Christian home, and for my whole childhood, my community was a Chinese community church in the Bay Area. For all the ways that I resent Christianity and my lineage, I am also grateful to have grown up with fellow Asian and Chinese community members. All my aunties and uncles, biological and chosen, spoke Chinese, Cantonese. And the first generation kids spoke Chinglish, which is a combo of Chinese and English. In that church, there was a deep sense of belonging that was more than sharing the same faith. One of my favorite memories was church lunch after service, and the aunties had been rushing to get all this food ready for lunch before choir practice. They laid out hot trays on wooden foldable tables all lined up. You grab your plate and utensils, you went to town. Rice, veggies, noodles, savory meats, saucy tofu, so good. And then during the week, my parents had Bible study, prayer meetings, and church meetings held in people's homes. Sometimes we would host. The kids would play and watch movies, and that was my childhood for all the trauma that was happening on different levels. My memories of the gatherings are joyful and warm. Oh, the nuance. I'm coming off of the text. It's like, yeah, I just feel like the older I am, I'm trying to hold more nuance in my memories. I think for the longest time, especially in my 20s, it was just confronting trauma after trauma. I was confronted with not having a lot of childhood memories, actually, and being able to confront the darkness also gave light to the things that were really beautiful. And I think that healing is really being able to hold in one hand the nuance of the beautiful and the traumatic and the evil, the darkness and the light and everything in between. Okay, back to the text. In between church evenings and meetings, at least once a week at a friend of my parents with my family, there'd be dinner, lots of laughter, and late night goodbyes. Most of the households had pianos, and I would do piano practice at my parents' friends' homes. And I remember being so obnoxious. Also, this is like totally me going down stream of consciousness about these memories, and I'm not even sure if I can bring it back full circle of why it's important. But anyways, I remember being so obnoxious with my 21st century weird ass piano pieces that I played extremely loud. I was making a scene. And my mom would have to be like, "So proud of you, honey, for practicing, but can you not play that loud? Like, we can't hear each other talk." But yeah, LOL. It's so funny. And yeah, I love that little memory that I haven't thought about in a while. Like the TikTok mom, people are always dropping by with dessert and random things, and my parents are always dropping off things at other friends' homes. And it's been 16 years since I've lived at home, and every time I'm visiting, when I visit my parents in the Bay Area, it's still the same. When I was at my parents' place last time, which was I think last fall, a longtime friend dropped off peeled jackfruit, and my parents are always hanging out with their elderly friends at their home. My dad helping with their computer and ordering things for them. And there's always this back and forth. It's always this this continuous thing of like dropping off, picking up, someone's dropping off this, someone's coming by for that. My aunt's at the door, and she has something for my mom, and my mom has something for her. And it's just this beautiful revolving door of community kindness and actions. It's really cute. Back to the text. Over the years, their community has changed drastically. Some folks remain close, but most of them came and went. I remember quieter years when there was less social activity. In the past few years, they rejoined a new Asian church, and it's been really sweet to hear about their new friends. My mom just told me about all the different regional Asian dishes she's been learning about from her community. And kind of a side note about that, I'm just really impressed. It's really daunting to enter a new community without knowing very many people. And yeah, it's been so sweet about the relationships and friendships that my mom has telling me about, and I really admire that. My parents are adventurous. They try new places to eat and plan trips across the world with their friends. A couple months ago, I called my mom and found out that they were on a road trip in the Pacific Northwest visiting some friends over the weekend. Adorable. So below is a photo of my younger sister and I on a road trip. We are in our black Honda Accord, which I inherited when I was a teenager. Every year growing up, my parents would take us on 2 big road trips to national parks and museums across the states. One of the reasons why they decided to homeschool us was to bring us on trips that could also double as field trips and family vacations. We didn't have much growing up and couldn't afford international and expensive trips, so getting into our car and staying at motels was their way of making a more immersive learning atmosphere for us, as well as spending time together as a family. Looking back, I'm so grateful for my parents' thoughtfulness in raising me and my sister. I'm literally so tired all the time right now. I don't have kids. And I can't imagine having kids and then getting the energy to make their lives feel exciting and full. And yeah, thank goodness I'm not a parent. For real, for real. I remember growing up hearing in the other room grown up meetings happening. I felt in the air there was betrayal and lots of conflict. When my parents were alone, I would hear them talking in the kitchen about what was simmering and unfolding. Lots of tears and heartbreak. And I felt like my parents were constantly mediators, but I'm sure they were part of rupture too. And I included that little paragraph because it was important for me to not only see the fun and the warmth and the joy, but also be exposed to it appropriately, which I'm so glad my parents didn't overshare about these things. That stuff was happening. There was a lot of difficulty and relational upset and community betrayals. And that really stuck with me, even though I don't know the details of it. It's interesting to think how my upbringing informs my formation of community now. The truth is that I feel very guarded and jaded. The older I get, the smaller my circle is getting, and that's by choice. I went to a talk yesterday that featured Miriam Kaba, Beth Ritchie, and Avalon Betts Gaston, hosted by IRRPP at UIC, where they talked about building a collective vision of liberation. And it was so incredibly good for my spirit. Like, seriously, it was like so soothing. It was like a salve on my spirit. So much wisdom, truth, and honesty. Miriam Kaba said many things that challenged me, many. And one of them was how we need to be widening our circles. My body's reaction was, but no! She talked about how the network needs to get bigger, and we need to make more friends to build the future we want to see. But I don't want friends. I can barely keep up with the ones I have. I have so many people left unread literally right now. That was my reaction. As I said, confronted. I cognitively know that we need each other. Mutual aid and organizing with literal humans is our way towards the world we want to see and build. But humans are so consistently disappointing. I was looking at the organizers and thought leaders on the panel, and I whispered to my friend next to me about how they have seen harm and been majorly let down in their lifetime over and over again, way more than what we have seen. We probably have no idea the extent of it. Yet, they are speaking from their souls and encouraging us to widen our circles. I could cry because I know it's the truth and I don't want to. But the flip side is certain and dark. That's how the empire wins. If we dig our heels in our individualism, if we think we don't need each other, if our pride gets in the way of connection, if we silo ourselves and simmer in the what if they betray me and us, if we don't take risks, the empire wins. Miriam Kaba spoke about being grounded in the possibilities. This Substack, the one that I'm writing right now, is about liberatory imagination because I want to strengthen my center, strengthen my gaze towards our North Star. I can feel my spirit recognizing how she feels wobbly. I'm praying for increase of faith. And I need to have the strength to endure the unknownness of the future and also the unknownness of people's behavior. On the flip side, I need to look in the mirror. A lot of the fear with people is fear that I will be someone who will be kicked to the curb. Can I allow myself to show up as fully human? Okay, I wrote that sentence twice, but yeah. I mean, that is the question. Can I allow people to show up as fully human? And can I allow myself to show up as fully human? It's so scary to me to think that I will continue to make mistakes. I have and I will, and I hate that. And yeah, as a recovering perfectionist, which we probably all are, being able to grow and mature in that is not easy. What I do know is that keeping myself accountable is hand in hand on where we are going towards, free of police and prisons, free of colonization, imperialism. Transformative justice is key to creating a culture where there is accountability and true opportunities of growth. Gotta practice what I teach. As I reflect on my upbringing, I see that my parents are always taking relational risks. They have been hurt and were burned many, many times, I'm sure. And they probably did the same to others. Yet they keep on trying. In a country that rejects them, they keep on trying to build community. And I wrote about this in the last post, and it is still resonating. I have to try. I don't know what will happen, and I don't need to. I just need to try. And I inserted a little photo of little me. I'm like a toddler, and I'm sitting at my kitchen table in my childhood home. I'm sitting on this little Sesame Street booster chair, finishing breakfast. And I don't know, I love this photo of me because I'm living her future and building the world I want her to thrive in. So what does liberatory imagination spark in me today? Someone on the panel, I think it was Avalon Betz-Gaston, said that at the end of your life, there should be so many people gathered around you. Your community should extend so deep and wide. And if you don't have friends around you, that's a problem. Liberatory imagination sparks in me roots that continue to grow deeper and wider as I age. The deeper and wider my roots get, the deeper and wider my community becomes. I will surround myself with folks dedicated to building the world we want to see in unity and also using diverse strategies. Harm will be reduced and true accountability will be embraced, free from policing, both systemically and relationally. All right, so that's a little bit of a longer post for today. I always end with that question. And also, I would love for you to support me. I'm in between jobs, just, continually being crushed by capitalism. And if you would like to support me, please look in the text box or the caption or the description, and I will include it. All right, so that is it for today. More from me next time. Bye.